What if I told you I knew how to beat the track and field recruiting process? Not every athlete can bust out a sub 4 mile or run 10.2 in the 100. So what can you do to get recruited? The recruiting process begins on June 15th following your sophomore year of high school. This means that the top recruits in the nation will receive probably close to 100 text messages from the best schools around the country. Not me though, I only got one. If you haven't subscribed, do so right now, because when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna be hosting a milk mile that anybody can come run. So since I only received one text message, I decided to make a list of all the schools that I was interested in and to reach out to those coaches. Guys, you really need to do this. This shows schools that you're interested, and it's really good if you go out and make the first advance. These are all the big schools that I talked to. Of these, only 2 of these schools actually reached out to me first. I reached out to them, so you guys need to reach out to schools. Taking unofficial visits. An unofficial visit just means that the school can't pay for you to come, but you can still come and they'll show you everything that you want to see. This was really important for me because this is when I decided that I wanted to be at an SEC school. Hashtag, it just means more. Following my junior year of high school, I decided that I was ready to take official visits, and I was down to only 2 schools. I took an official visit to my favorite of the 2, which at the time was Auburn University, and a couple days after my visit, I decided I wanted to go there and I committed there. But then something crazy happened. 2 weeks after I committed to a certain scholarship, a new head track coach was brought into the program that I didn't know was going to be there. Track priorities began to change, and I wasn't too nervous. The team was having an excellent cross-country season, but then something unexpected happened. 2 days before National Signing Day, I received a phone call that I would no longer be on scholarship if I wanted to go to Auburn. I could go there, but I had to be a walk-on. Obviously, I was extremely upset because I'd been committed for like 6 months at that point, and so it just felt like a slap in the face that I committed them and they didn't commit to me. And thus, my recruiting process began again. At this point, I still wanted to go somewhere in the SEC, so I reached out to 2 more schools, which were Ole Miss and Kentucky. I didn't have time for unofficials, so I just went ahead and took officials to both schools. Both visits were excellent, but eventually I decided to pick Ole Miss because it was closer to home, there was a bigger emphasis on the distance part of the program, and I thought the people were more like me and that I would fit in better. February 1st, I finally signed and I was officially done after an extremely stressful year and a half. So what can you learn from my story? Number 1 is you have to reach out to coaches. If you don't, then there's probably a good chance that you'll never even talk to that school. It makes their job so much easier, and it really shows interest from your side. Number 2, I would recommend taking unofficial visits if you can. I mean, obviously some people can't, but if you can, it's a really great opportunity to see what schools and what types of schools you liked. This is what really helped me narrow down to only SEC schools. Now, because of my experience, I would recommend not committing until senior year when everything's guaranteed. But I mean, some people are going to commit early anyway because that seems to be the way the trend is going because of social media and whatnot. But I would recommend waiting until senior year to where everything's guaranteed. When unlimited official visits begins, I would recommend still taking 5 or less because those weekends are extremely awesome, but they're also extremely draining. It's really hard to race good and to train good and to really get the full experience of these visits if you're rushing through them and you're trying to do so many. I would also say that you should really pick the school where you feel like you're the most at home and where you're going to get along with the people, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the people that make the experience, not the school or the campus. So go where you feel at home. Number 6 is just relax. I mean, it can be extremely stressful if you make it that way, but it's also a really unique process, and not everybody gets to have the opportunity to do. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. These videos take a ton of effort, and I'm really hoping that this can give you guys an updated guide because there really isn't that much good information out there, and I would have loved to have something like this.